Why does the internet hate Wizard Liz and MJ Gray so much?
You better pray. I'm telling you, pray that you never see my face again. Do not send me no pictures, no messages. You pray to God every day that you never see my face again. By the way, guys.
Two of the biggest femininity coaches, high-value dating coaches, both of them have imploded. And I reckon it's going to continue happening on the internet because of three things: the teacher-performer mismatch, algorithmic absolutism, and the authenticity bind. Let's discuss the high-value dating coach to public enemy number one pipeline. If you haven't been following the situation, I'm going to give you a brief version of it all, and I won't be accepting any mean-spirited discourse. I'm simply providing context. I don't follow either of them, but I did some learning too during my research, and Wizard Liz is actually Belgian, and I think she's got like 8 million subscribers on YouTube or something just ridiculous, so that's an amazing achievement. Earlier this year, she publicly accused her fiancé Landon of cheating on her while she was 4 months pregnant. It's worth noting that before they even got together, before Liz knew of Landon had already been following her for I think months or years. So essentially he entered the relationship already knowing her principles, what she stood for, and what she built her platform on. And like I said, she gave very ardent and rigid advice on how women should be treated by men. So after she found out that he had cheated, she ended the engagement, naturally, right?
I think all the people telling me to kill myself and whatever for this thing that I am acknowledging is wrong. And it's not, it was 5-10 minutes of my life texting somebody that I don't about, jeopardizing everything that I have. Like, it's just ridiculous.
But then she got back with him. But we have to remember at this point, she was pregnant. And right now, the situation has escalated into a custody dispute over their child, their son, a restraining order, and a very public and ongoing legal battle. And then we have MJ Gray, also known as Texas Garden Fairy, who's built a following of almost 500,000 followers on TikTok. Again, insane numbers. And she was pretty much known for being explicitly and vocally anti-marriage. She told her audience that marriage represents the ownership of women and that women should avoid it entirely. Then she announced her engagement to a man she'd only known for, I think, 9 months.
I feel like you shouldn't get married.
Yes, I am engaged. Yes. Marriage was the act of making women property.
So that's 9 months of him watching her tell 500,000 women that marriage is an institution designed to own them. He heard all of that and still decided to put a ring on it. And she accepted. I think it's pretty hilarious, but she titled the video, I think something like, "Yeah, this is awkward. I'm engaged." And her audience lost it. They lost their minds. The easy take here would be to call them both hypocrites, but the internet has already done that. And I actually think it's a very lazy take. What happened to MJ Gray and Liz is not a coincidence. What we're seeing is a pattern that tells us how femininity and self-worth, high-value dating content works. This high-value pseudo-feminist content doesn't actually benefit us, the audience, but only the creators. Femininity and high-value dating coaches position themselves as teachers. They tell you,
"I'm going to teach you about self-worth, boundaries, what to tolerate and what to refuse."
And the audience receives them as teachers. Women watch the content, apply the lessons, and make real-life decisions that, seriously affect them based on what these influencers are saying. But this isn't a classroom. These dating gurus, they don't operate in a classroom. They actually operate in an entertainment economy. A teacher is evaluated on process. Did she give you useful tools? Did she help you think more clearly? Did the framework she offered hold up when it was applied? If a teacher makes a personal mistake, that doesn't invalidate the lesson. Your math teacher who's going through a divorce because she cheated on her husband for 17 years doesn't mean that Pythagoras' theorem stops working. And then on the other hand, performers are judged on consistency. Did she deliver what she promised? Did the experience stay coherent from start to finish? If your favorite musician has a concert but doesn't show up or sings badly, you're gonna feel diseased. Femininity coaches are positioned as teachers but are judged as performers. Scholars call this performative authority, where the creator has to constantly perform being real in order to stay credible. And that mismatch, that teacher-performer mismatch, is why everything eventually goes wrong. When Wizard Liz went back to Landon, she was doing something that your maths teacher would be allowed to do. She was being human in a very complicated situation that contradicted some of the principles that she taught you. Teachers are allowed to be inconsistent because teaching is about the idea, not the person. But the internet evaluated the Wizard Liz as a performer who is inconsistent. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit taken aback with how disappointed the internet was with MJ Gray and the Wiz Liz. You could really see that people weren't just disappointed, they were angry. Now, I do think some of the reactions were down to Schadenfreude. I think that's just the nature of the internet. And then the people that felt genuinely betrayed, parasocial relationships. Parasocial relationships are one-sided emotional bonds audiences form with public figures. You feel you know someone even though they do not know you exist. I think it goes a bit deeper because when that bond is built on moral behavioral guidance, so someone's telling you how to live, what to accept, what to refuse, that broken trust is irreparable. Like I said, MJ Gray and Wizard Liz, they were seen as teachers. So you following them, you being a fan, you're not even a fan. You're a student of their word. I think fans could separate the art from the artist, but when you become a student of someone, like a true follower, like those religious followers, it's hard to separate people's actions from their work. And so you feel betrayed and then you hold them accountable. Research by Bonus, Matthews and Wolf found that when a public figure you feel parasocially bonded to violates your moral expectations, the relationship breaks. So how people felt about MJ Gray and the Wizard Liz, it wasn't just a disagreement of, opinions or whatever. They felt genuinely betrayed. Some members of their audience felt truly deceived because they'd taken their advice as Bible. Some of them made real life decisions with it. I think one woman turned down an engagement because of MJ Gray and her teachings. Now, I do think that we have to be accountable for the actions we take. And you can't be easily influenced by people. Like, you do not know these people. But I can understand how some people feel like they'd been sold a dream, a feminist dream. And then it turns out that the feminist icon who you revered doesn't even believe in it herself. This is what moral authority and audience punishment looks like in practice. When you position yourself as a femininity dating coach, your personal decisions become case studies to them. But then when these femininity dating coaches experience failures on their part or whatever, their followers see it as a verdict on whether their high value dating advice was worth it or not. So you might think an easy solution is to not position yourself as neither a teacher or a performer. Just be real, be yourself, be transparent, show the mess, which I will not do. And you know what? It does work. Some creators amass huge followings by being candid.
I don't smell though. All I'm saying is, yes, I need a shower, but it's not like I smell. That's when I draw the line. That's when I'm like, Emma, you can't be doing this. But I don't smell. I'm just dirty. There's a difference.
But they're not immune to scrutiny. No one is online. There's a researcher called Brooke Erin Duffy, and she calls this the authenticity bind. Women creators specifically are caught between two punishments. If you're too polished, if you're too aspirational, if you're too perfect, then you're fake. But then if you're too messy, too honest, too human, then your life is chaotic. And then you're still a topic of gossip, and you actually serve as a cautionary tale to make other people feel morally superior. There is no safe position between these two poles. Femininity gurus and dating coaches, the authenticity bind is even tighter because the entire genre, this niche, you have to be living your raps. And as we've seen with the Wizard Liz, sometimes life contradicts the high value dating narrative. Because even if a man wanted you for months, for years, if he doesn't have good intentions, if he feels emasculated by you or is in secret competition with you, that man will find a way to humble you. The algorithm rewards content that is emotionally legible and morally decisive. A video that says,
"Know your worth."
That video will outperform another that says, "Self-worth is complicated and sometimes you make decisions that contradict what you believe because you were scared and lonely and pregnant and in love." The algorithm really doesn't care about nuance, and that's why you see fairly extreme views more than you see balanced ones. So over time, every femininity guru or high-value self-worth dating coach, they both face the same sort of pressure. The content that performs the best is the content where she speaks in absolutes.
Never tolerate cheating. Always walk away from disrespect. Leave him, sis. Know your worth.
And so forth. And these absolutes get reinforced by followers, by revenue, algorithmic anxiety, the constant pressure to optimize yourself with the platform's demands until your content identity becomes a cage you built around yourself. And this is the psychological cost of identity-based content. When your entire public identity, your income, and your audience are built on a specific moral position, deviating from that position means you're dismantling the platform you built. MJ Gray's extreme views on men and marriage were rewarded by the algorithm.
Over the last 2 years, I built an entire platform around you should be happy single. Don't get a boyfriend, just get a boyfriend. Don't get married, just get married. It's shocking to me still, but I have a boyfriend now.
The more definitively she spoke, the more her audience grew. And her platform expanded, and I'm sure she was financially incentivized for it. However, she is human, and she is allowed to change her mind on men and develop a taste in designer items, it seems. So she got engaged. Arrest her. But it seems like her audience has never forgiven her for it. The femininity and high-value dating niche is one of the fastest growing content that is targeting young women. And every creator who decides to enter that niche, they all fall into the same trap. The audience will love you for your advice, but they will also judge you by your advice. And the moment your life gets complicated, because it will, that is life, your audience will turn on you, just like they did with the Wiz Liz and MJ Gray. I don't doubt that high-value dating content has genuinely helped people out, but I don't think building your entire influencer career on this model is sustainable because it requires you to be both a real person and living proof that it works at the same time. And like I said, you can think that you've picked the right guy, but one way or another, life or that man will humble you. And if you are a femininity coach and you've made it to the end of this video, I am not coming for you. Please, I'm just warning you.